But unedited. You already know what time it is. It's live, uncut, unedited. Come on in, people. Come on in. We are going to talk about public safety here in the city of Chicago. What can we do? How can we improve public safety here in Chicago? All right. We know we got a lot of problems. We're dealing with the drive-by shootings. We're dealing with the carjackings, and we're dealing with the snatch and grab. We're dealing with the strong arm robbery. We're dealing with burglary. We're dealing with sex trafficking. We're dealing with a lot of things in these communities. So come on in, people. Come on in. This is live, uncut. Miss Emma, I see you. All right, Miss Pendleton, I see you. I see you. I see you. I want you to call in today, Miss Lady. All right. And we're dealing, people, I'm repeating myself. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with drive-by shootings. We're dealing with snatch and grab. We're dealing with drug sales. We're dealing with gangs. We deal cliques, if you want to call them. We're dealing with snatching and grabbing. We're dealing with burglary. We're dealing with sex trafficking. Those are the things that we're dealing with. Those are crimes that are visible. That's what we're dealing with. And those things have put a crimp on our lives. We're afraid to go to the public parks with our children. We're afraid to stand on a bus stop. We're afraid to get on train at nighttime. So these are things that affect especially the black community, but it's all over now. It's all over the country now. Not the country, the city. It's all over. I tell you, this is real. Hey, Teresa, what's going on? Chad, I see you. I see it. I see you. Bomb Black, I see you. Kevin Thomas family. All right. Chantel Lynn, I see you. I got a call already, people. Nathan, I see you. Teresa Wright, I see. Hey, Lisa, I'm just gonna text you, Lisa. All right, Willis, is that Wills? Okay. Y'all, okay, I got a couple of calls, and we're going to talk about. Listen, ladies, I know if the men ain't concerned, I know the ladies are concerned about their public safety. You know, we got the Kia boys out here, we got the Hyundai boys out here. They stealing cars. Listen, it's a lot going on, people. A lot. My cousin called in. I didn't even know his car got stolen. So it's a lot going on, people. Hey, where you at, cuz? Hello? Who on? Come on. All right, somebody got to turn their phone down. You got to turn Facebook down because I hear you. It's either two things. You got to turn your Facebook all the way down. You still can look at it, or take me off speakerphone. It's one of the two because I'm getting the feedback. I believe it's that 947 number. 94. Just turn
947. Oh,
okay. I don't hear no echo. Okay.
You ain't no speaker.
Oh, yeah, I ain't no speaker. Okay, you got Facebook turned down because you can listen to me. You'll see it in real time. Living to me. Okay. All right, caller. Where you calling from? 947.
Man, I'm calling from Detroit, man.
Come on, that's okay. Come on, talk to us, brother. Listen, let me tell you, we got the same problems that we got in Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, Jackson, Mississippi. It's all over.
Brothers. We ain't number brothers.
That's it. Go ahead, brother. Talk to us.
Twins.
Right.
Yeah, but the main thing is the trafficking. That's
right.
The main thing we ought to be focused on is that damn trafficking.
Okay. Sex trafficking. Is that what you're talking about?
Sir.
Sex trafficking. What you know about that?
Yes, sir.
What you know about that?
Man,
let me hear.
I'm a trucker, brother. I know a whole lot about it.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're a trucker. You know. You're a trucker. You know.
Yeah. We need to focus in on that burglary, all that. That just come in the neighborhood, bro. It only come big. It only come big when it cross over them tracks.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
You know, let's stick with this trafficking because we need to get down. These kids out here, man, they don't know no better, bro. They ain't got no guidance. They just jump in and jump out. You know.
Wow.
We need to talk to these kids. That's what we need to do. The parents need to talk to their kids, bro.
And that's the truth.
I mean, far as burglary, robbery, that's gonna be every day. That's gonna be light.
Okay.
That trafficking these kids, that's what we need to be most concerned right there.
Okay, well, what can we do to help improve that that sex trafficking? You know, educate our children of what's going on. Because now, listen.
Yes, educate the kids, but the kids got to also have somebody they could trust and come to. You know what I'm saying? That's what the main focus is gonna be.
Right.
They turn and put their trust in somebody who really don't care about them. Gonna take them around the wrong circle and pimp them out.
Right. And that's what I think
so we need to talk to the kids and have them have somewhere they can go to talk to some people they can trust.
Right. Because that's the thing. That's what I had a discussion about the other night, I believe. When you have people to talk to your children about sex and you don't have that first conversation and educate your sons and daughters about sex, you have to do that as parents. Listen, the school is not a babysitting agency. Let me just say that again, people. The school is not your mama. The school is not your father, your daddy. It's not neither one of them. That's not what they own there.
No.
And a lot of parents, well, didn't you learn that in school? No. Listen, you are parents. You are the first teacher. Foster mama, godmama, grandmama, the one that got custody, auntie, uncle got custody. You are the first teacher. Don't act like nothing can't happen to your child. It can. Your child can be pimped out. Your child can be, period. Your child could be a driver of a car, of a drive-by shooting. Yes, your child. Your child can be in a sex ring of setting up men. Your child. We have to talk to our child while they are in our presence. Don't wait till they get 15 years old, body overdeveloping. The young man, he's standing 6 feet tall and 185 pounds. Then you start trying to talk to him. Man, listen, it starts. Start talking to your baby in the womb if you can. That's all. That's it.
Yep, it start early because these kids get their hands on technology.
Right. Hold on, brother. I got another call. I got two more.
What we used to have.
Yeah, hold on, Detroit, Michigan. 0941, go ahead. 0941, go ahead.
Yeah, Martin.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Martin. You hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
I know you got a little feedback going on.
Okay, well, listen. Hold on, Marcus.
These kids got to be taught.
Hold on. If I got a feedback, you got to make sure your Facebook turned down and you cannot have me on speakerphone.
Oh, I'm not even on Facebook.
Okay, how's it sound now? Is the feedback how it sound now?
It sound okay now.
It's better. I don't hear no feedback on my end.
Sounds okay now.
Okay. Go ahead, Marcus.
These kids are not being taught how to love. It starts at home. I keep stressing it. Public safety, if you taught to love, public safety gonna come into play. Even a police officer. You have police officers that patrol our community that don't love us. They don't have no respect for us. So when you love something, you're gonna take care of it. You're gonna make sure it's safe. You know, there are people that protect their dogs. Their dogs ain't getting shot. Their dogs ain't getting ate by coyotes, right?
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is these kids, these people need love. And because it ain't just the kids out here, it's the adults out here killing and stealing too. We need love. There's an absence of love. And a lot of people will argue me down, but we need God. We need some type of belief, some type of hope. The hope has been taken away with all of this research or whatever and scientific research and so on. You've taken Jesus away from the Christians. You take Santa Claus away from the kids, even though Santa Claus ain't real, but you've taken away the little hope that people have that can give them some type of moral respect for the world around them. And they'll stop this. They'll stop what we're seeing, what we saw last night, what we saw days before. Just in the 4 days, somebody probably got killed today, the 5th day of the year. You know, the devil has no respect for us. Bottom line is people need to turn their life over to God or whatever God they believe in. Yeah. And I'm quite sure that God that they believe in did not mean for them to be acting like this, whatever God they serve.
Yeah. Hold it right there, Marcus. 2742. Go ahead, caller. 2742.
You know what? I'm listening to them, and I understand what they're saying about love and all that. But you know what? A lot of people just don't care, because we as adults and children know right from wrong. We're just living in a time where people don't care. They don't care about nobody. They don't care about themselves, because it's like the year just started, and look at what's going on. The year before, the year after that, the year after, it's a constant thing. And it's like, we can't keep making excuses for these kids. It ain't about no love. They just don't give a shit. That's just what it is. They don't care. They don't care. They think they know everything. They know nothing. And then you got, these kids have grown people in their lives. But if you look at the grown people sit in the house and kick it with them, smoke, drink, you got women and men on there. When you see them, you see me, they throwing all type of finger signs. Kids 5 or 6 throwing finger signs around adults. So that lets you know these kids are around adults. They don't care. The adults don't care until one of their family members dead. It's the people that care and the people who don't care. It's like, I'm so sick of so many excuses. You got to stop making excuses. People don't give a shit about nothing and nobody. They want to take.
Watch that language, girlfriend.
And it's like you got, I'm sorry,
okay,
but I guess there's so much going on. And it's like, you know, people say, well, you know, people need love. It's just so many excuses. And it's like the more excuses, the more crime.
Well, let me ask you.
It's like a lot of Black women are the biggest target.
Well, let me ask you a question. You're a Black woman, and do you feel safe? How can we improve public safety? Is something has to be done? We just can't. Okay, since we agree, I can't agree with you. Some of these older people don't care. Some of the young people don't care. But we have to make them care, because listen, we can't just keep living in prisons in our own home. You know, some of us catch public transportation. Some of us have to go to the grocery store. We seen what happened last night at Walmart. Now, just imagine, even if it was a target attack, imagine a straight bullet would have hit somebody that was close by. So this is the thing that I'm concerned about: public safety. Public safety. If you can't go to a Walmart, which is a neutral, it's not in no gang territory. It's a neutral place where people go and shop, bring their family members and all that. So public safety to me is a concern, because I mean, I do crime. I don't feel safe out here. You know, you don't want somebody blowing at you. People, have y'all noticed this? And it's just, maybe it's me. People just run lights, random. Just run lights. Just running them. Just run them. I seen the guy go around everybody just run the light. I said, man, it wasn't like nobody was behind.
People don't care.
Yeah. Well,
they don't care until they become a target. If someone, the crime comes in their family, and it's like you said, you can't really go nowhere. Like downtown, they said you can't go nowhere worrying about somebody gonna rob you. Matter of fact, the other day, you know, I leave out for work at 6 some in the morning. I seen 3 little young guys. I'm like, what are they doing outside? It's like these young boys, they target people, but then their mom sit there and cry, oh, my son is, my daughter is. And it's like, I'm at the point, I don't care what happened to them, because your kid is doing things they shouldn't do. And they're terrifying a lot of adults. Like, it's a lot of elderly people are scared of people. These elderly people be so scared. I feel so bad for them.
Well, you know what? I'm scared. I stopped doing DoorDash at night because it's been gotten out of hand. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're going into. And I agree with you. These kids don't care. But their parents, somebody needs to be held accountable. They need harsher penalties. I know people don't want to hear it, but they need harsher penalties.
Okay, y'all give me a break.
Quit giving them stuff.
Okay, I'm finna play a video. Y'all know I like to play video. I'll give you a little visual. And I want y'all to listen in and tell me what y'all think. And this is still on the same subject, though, public safety, but it's talking about our children, basically. So I'm going to play this video. Let me get it out so I can play it for you guys.
Child that she really didn't want in the first place, and maybe she waited too late, what they called it, to abort it.
Right.
She carries this child in misery. She carries this.
Let me see if I can start this over.
Child in depression, and everything that mother goes through, that child feels and experiences as well. And when the mother in the 9th month have that child,
Yes.
the child goes through the canals of depression, oppression, rejection, and everything. And that child comes out, and people want to know why that child is acting a certain way.
That's right.
It's because that child has not been given the love. That child didn't have any bonding with the mother while she was carrying it,
That's right.
nor when the child came out. So this child is out in this universe in suffering and hurt. And we all look at this, a lot of times, we look at that individual and say, that's a doggone shame. What you gonna do with this child? You know what? Let's take time and
That's
make
right.
a difference with these children. Before they come out
Yes.
from the womb, do something about this.
Yes, G.
There's too many children. There's too many lost souls out here. There's too many people hurt.
Yes.
There's too many people depressed and oppressed. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate, because you know what? It's time for a change.
Yes, G.
It is time. And God said that if my people who call, when a mother is carrying a child
Listen, one more time.
that she
Listen.
really didn't want in the first place, and maybe she waited too late, what they called it, to abort it,
Right.
she carries this child in misery. She carries this child in depression.
Yes.
And everything that mother goes through, that child feels and
Yes.
experiences as well. And when the mother in the 9th month have that child,
Yes.
the child goes through the canals of depression, oppression, rejection, and everything. And that child comes out, and people want to know why that child is acting a certain way.
That's right.
It's because that child has not been given the love. That child didn't have any bonding with the mother while she was carrying it,
That's right.
nor when the child came out. So this child is out in this universe in suffering and hurt. And we all look at this, a lot of times, we look at that individual and say, that's a doggone shame. What you gonna do with this child? You know what? Let's take time and
That's
make
right.
a difference with these children. Before they come out
Yes.
from the womb, do something about this.
Yes, G.
There's too many children. There's too many lost souls out here. There's too many people hurt.
Yes.
There's too many people depressed and oppressed. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate, because you know what? It's time for a change.
Yes, G.
It is time. And God said that if my people who call by
All right, people. Y'all heard it. What y'all thoughts about that? We still on public safety now. She's talking about
I
in the womb.
disagree.
You disagree? Well, tell me why you disagree. Come on with it.
I disagree.
Well, tell me, talk to me.
Because, okay, a lot of times, I'm sure you've known women that when they first was pregnant, they probably wanted to get abortion because they weren't ready. But when they had their child and that doctor put that baby against them, they love that baby. As kids get older, people have choice. Kids have choice. They know right from wrong. So I don't believe that.
Mhm.
I think it's just excuses.
Well, you know what? Listen, I'll say this. I believe it. You don't believe it. It's okay. We all got our opinion. Some people never experience it. I'm just go back to me. I was 40-some years. My father died. Never told me he loved me. Never told me. Now, listen, I lived in the house with both parents. I can't even remember if my father ever embraced me and hugged me and held me. I'm just telling y'all. So I'm going to tell you, we all want to be loved. We creatures. We love to be loved. But some of us will go and find something to get into if we don't give them something to do. I'm talking about young folks now. We're talking about young folks. Now, a lot of us get into a lot of things and it in our teenage years, and then we get stuck in it. So a lot of these young people, have we ever thought about this as grown-ups? Have we ever really sat down these young teenagers? I'm talking about the ones that committing these crimes and have a heart-to-heart talk and see what's the really problem. And I guarantee you, I can point out some of the problem. Some probably come from broken homes. Parents didn't want them no more. Drug babies. Some of them didn't stay in school. The gang intimidation, selling drugs, drinking and getting high. Because, you know, we have a lot of young people that's on drugs right now. I'm talking about 14, 15, 16, not just weed. You know, we know this weed is induced, but we talking about other things. We talking about lean, the X pills. I mean, they literally on drugs. So a lot of these young people don't feel love. And the first thing they say, oh, that was back in y'all day. Y'all know what y'all talking about. That's what they say. So a lot of young people don't feel love. And I'm not making an excuse for bad behavior. Some people just don't. That's all they know is the life of crime. Give you another example. I remember when I was growing up, it used to be this young man, I got another caller because somebody hung up. Okay. A young man used to pump gas all the time. Pump gas. He was dusty, balmy. The little boy, I was always, when I see him at a gas station, I make sure that he pumped my gas. I give him a little money. And I always wonder in my mind, I said, man, I wonder where's his parents at, his mother at? Because he's always at the gas station looking dirty, shoes ran over, hair not combed. But, he always pumping gas. I was giving him $1, $2 back then. $1 was a whole lot of money. But not right now. You can't do nothing but $1. So hold on, people. I think my phone just jumped off. Hold on. So that's my point. That's my point, people. So we got to have some type of compassion for the young people now. Now, I'm not saying that the young people shouldn't be held accountable. I'm for that. I want the young people to be held accountable.
Hey, caller, this is Martin G, a.k.a.
Hold on, I can
the
call in,
Crime
people.
Chaser, live, uncut,
My phone hung up, y'all.
broadcast. Just before you speak, please turn down all your audio. Please turn them off or down, and do not have us on speakerphone so we won't have an echo, and we'll be with you shortly. Thank you so much.
Okay, I got a new caller.
People had to work to get where they at.
Okay, hold on, Brother Mark. I got a new caller, 63. No, that ain't you. I'm talking about 539 out of town number. Go ahead, 539. Go ahead.
Oklahoma.
Oh, that's Oklahoma.
This
That's
your
you,
brother,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. What's
Okay,
up?
go Oklahoma. Come on, talk to us,
Oh,
man.
yes.
What can we do to increase public safety? Not just here in Chicago, anywhere.
Man, it to me, it's a commit. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. You good. No echo or nothing. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. If you got an echo, you should take
the communities, man, the community activists like you guys, the pastors, the police, because all police are not bad. That's the only where we can get protection at is basically the law. But they're not trying to do that. Their hands are probably tied and full too, but those are the ones that can lock these people up or whatever the case may be.
Well, let me ask you a question.
That's the only suggestion I have.
Yeah, but see, that's
who
all.
else really going,
Well, let me just say this, brother. Let me just say this, man. Why is it that when it comes to our young people that's committing crime, the only solution is locking them up? Every other race of people.
I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you, brother. I just had to say it. No disrespect. I mean, it's always lock them up, lock them up. We got 2 generations of black men in the prison right now, in the prison system right now. Right now. We got women. We got women.
Understand, but
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
So you think it's program to put them in then? Is that better?
No, brother. It's not just that. It's no one solution. See, the only solution that I hear from black people that look like me is jail. You never hear them say anything else.
No, I'm saying
it's more. Listen, brother.
Well, are you gonna get?
Go ahead, brother.
For the safety of the people,
right? For
the safety of the people, like you say. So I'm not saying to lock them up and throw away the key. I'm just saying, well, how are you gonna make? What other way you gonna make it safe? If they still out here roaming like that, they got to somewhere. They got to be placed. If for the people's safety, if you say you're not safe, if I still live in Chicago, I wouldn't be safe. You see what I'm saying? I have to look over my shoulder.
Well, listen, bro. Let me just say something to you. Those children that's out there committing crime, young teenagers, middle-aged people, they from us. They come from us, black people. So these ain't no aliens just fall out the sky.
Right.
Everybody out there, listen to me, people. Everybody out there that's committing crime, whether it be a felony crime or misdemeanor crime, have a name. and possibly an address. Somebody gave birth to them. Now, are we going to take our youth, those are committing crime, and throw them all in jail? What are we going to do? We have to have some solutions. That's what I'm looking for. I don't just want to hear. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these young folks need to be locked up. I agree with you, but not all of them. You know, some crimes you just got to hold on, brother. You got to go sit down, brother. You done shot your mama. Now you're gonna have to go sit down. You done shot your best friend. You done shot this guy for his car. You're gonna have to go sit down. Ain't that gonna be able to help you right away. You might have to, time might have to heal your wounds, get you back focused. I got another caller. 73, what's that? 3699. Go ahead, caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, you're live, uncut, unedited. Come on with it, sister.
Now I'm not on speaker, but I hear myself.
Okay, well, let me see if okay, it's either two things. Either you got Facebook, you got to turn it off, turn it all the way down. That's the only way you're gonna hear echo.
Let me see.
Turn Facebook off. Turn it down.
It is off.
Now, do you hear echo?
Okay, what about now?
I don't hear no echo. I'm good.
Yeah, I still hear it.
Okay, let me see if I can turn
Hold
down.
on, it's like,
yeah.
Let me see.
Turn your Facebook
And Martin,
down.
I was hearing it on my end, and I don't have nothing on.
Okay.
I hear it right now.
I don't know why.
Okay, let me see if I still hear it. It's lower.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Is it lower? Let me turn that on this end.
Well, if you can't hear it, it doesn't matter.
No, I want you guys to be comfortable too, cause
okay,
all right. Okay, is it better?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, my sister.
Okay. I want to mention this part, which I haven't heard anybody mention. The part about, you got to look at the age group of the people that are committing the crimes, the younger people. And I haven't heard anybody mention how it all started neurologically. You have to realize the women that were carrying these children, they were addicted to the crack era. You know, a lot of these babies are 90s and 80s babies, mainly 90s babies. And so we skipped over the part about the role that crack has on the fetus. And it messes with them neurologically. And so that's why a lot of these kids are out of control, because neurologically they're not functioning like people that were born in the 70s, the 60s and 50s. This is a different breed of person, of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's genetic.
Yeah,
that's chemicals.
Yeah, the chemicals. Yeah, and so
you're actually right.
Yeah, you know, you take a woman that started smoking crack in 1985, and then she gets pregnant in, let's just say, 1986, and then she's been using this crack all through her pregnancy. You know, remember, they did that study back in the 80s where the children had what they were calling tremors. And that's because when they were born, they would, remember the test was that they would grab the baby by the arms and hold it, and then they'd let it go. And then the baby's arms would be trembling and shaking. And that was one way they would tell that the mother was using crack and heroin while she was carrying the baby. And so now these people are 25, 30, and we still know that the 12-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, 10-year-olds, you know, if they come from a woman, their mother was using drugs, neurologically, that plays a major role in how the brain is receiving and it's recepting things. And, you know, it's almost like they suffer from like they don't, it's not connecting.
Yeah, hold on, sister. I got some background. Hold on. 2401. You gotta mute your phone. 2401, you gotta mute your phone. 24. Please mute your phone, okay? Because we hear some background. We hear some talking now. We got somebody talking. Mute your phone until I call on you. Just mute your phone until I call on you. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, my dear sister.
Yeah, see, so we're sitting up here, we're blaming the kids, and yeah, they play a role in it, but how do you blame a person, a being that came into the world not knowing how to make the difference between right and wrong? It's a neurological issue.
That makes sense.
You get somebody and do it, make them be a lab rat. Take a person, a woman, and she's 3 months pregnant, and give her all the crack that she can take without overdosing, and then have that baby and see what happens, and do a study on the baby for the next 30 years. I guarantee you that baby's gonna be different from a baby that was carried full term or even premature, that the mother didn't use drugs.
Let me. Right. I want to read somebody. Hold on. I want to read a statement. Somebody, Monica Stinson Brown, said they all aren't doing it for the same reasons. Everything isn't an excuse. Martin G. Johnson. We have to catch some early. We have to address people's needs in poverty, and we must address abuse, mental illness, police brutality, drug addiction, and gang enforcement. I think gang forcing. So that's a good. That was a good. Yeah. So I just want to throw that out there.
Good point, but my thing is this. But this is the issue. What I'm saying is this, Martin. You take all these women, and the early 80s, when they called it freebasing, they didn't even call it smoking crack. It was called freebasing back then. Okay, and they never. And these women these were the it girls. They were smoking this stuff, and there was the war on drugs with Reagan and Oliver North and all of that.
Of course,
and they know they put the drugs in the community. So yeah, and so there was never any program. They ran the studies to see the after effects of what would happen to a woman with her unborn child that was smoking all this crack, the chemicals, but they never set anything in place for it. They knew what was coming 25, 35 years later. They knew. They haven't done anything.
Yeah. Well, I had one. Donald Williams said, Donald Williams, I know him personally. He said, we got to be kidding. We're going to sit here on this phone and talk about how chemicals is dictating or how children that act. So some people not buying that.
Yes, we're going to do it. It's true.
It's true.
It's not
because
it's true.
I was in the household I was in the household with a relative that used drugs, and my little relative, he was a baby. His eyes would shake in his head. You see what I'm saying? Turned out to be a great young man now, but it's the chemicals, whatever that stuff is, man. It's gonna affect me if I use that stuff for years and years. Ain't it gonna affect my body? And I'm gonna have some type of illness or sickness.
Okay. Hey, y'all, I need some.
Martin just shared with the lady in the parking lot. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead, sister. Now I'm gonna take a new caller. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, look at the lady in the video that you just shared. You just showed the lady at the nail shop saying that a mother that is pregnant, whatever she goes through, a child will come out with those emotions and feelings. Didn't she just say that?
She did. Correct. She did say that.
Okay. So if a woman is ingesting drugs and getting high through all her trimesters, she's smoking crack, she's tooting dope, blows, and all this kind of stuff. What makes you think that that's not going to affect that unborn child? Their cognitive, the way that they think is going to be different. Their emotional pattern is going to be, everything is going to be different.
Hello, is it my turn?
Hold on, ma'am. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, hold. I got one before 20. I think it's I had one before you, but go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so I work for social service, work for social service agency. And one of the things derived with these kids is that how they came into the world. So a lot of these kids is born, they're babies having babies. So the mom is 15. So the kid is 15 and the mom is 30. The mom is still a young lady. And if she hasn't been taught anything, then she can't instill anything upon her kid. I've been in social service a long time. And I even talk to the kids majority of the time. They are not loved. They have no idea of what that means. And so they go out in the world and they're looking for it. And so these kids are trying to get their needs met. And they'll do any means necessary, which means that their parents probably is in jail, on drugs, and majority of it is trauma. And we have to deal with the trauma part of it because that trauma is deep. That's where they go with, they don't care about anything because they trauma-based. It's so deep. I've had kids in my agency. One of the girls killed her baby. One of the boys shook his baby to death. All of my kids, majority of the kids that I've came in contact with are now in the penitentiary. And what they always say to me is, I don't care. I don't even care. I don't have nobody. I don't have nowhere to go to. I don't have nowhere to be. They have to, first of all, you in a trauma-based home where a mother have 8 kids and the mama is drug-induced, which means a baby of 5 years old is raising his siblings as a parent. So if they're watching the mother is gone for 4 days. These kids have to feed their siblings. So at a young age, they learn how to steal. They mimic their parents. And so when the parents are away from the home, the kids have to get their needs met. And so the girls, let me go to the women, to the girls. Because I worked a camp of girls ages 9 through 13. What they do is they looking for love. So they scroll that internet every day, all day. Because somebody is giving them some attention. So they scroll that internet all day, every day. They know so many dating sites. One of my kids just told me about a dating site called Monkey. Never heard of it. I said, well, what is that? Oh, it's just the boys. They just they say nice things and they only stay on for like 5 minutes. So y'all talk for 5 minutes apiece. If you go to your child's phone, you'll be amazed at what your children be doing. You'll be amazed. And the girls who have no direction, I don't care I was a mom. And I can tell you, my daughter told me at an older age what she was doing at a younger age. And I would never imagine my daughter doing those things or sneaking out the house or smoking weed or doing those things because it was a 2-parent household.
Right.
When did she get the time to do all those things?
Hold it right there, ma'am. I got some more callers. You don't have to go nowhere. I had a gentleman actually before you go.
Hello.
I need 2401. 2401. 2401. That's the call I need to talk to. 2401. 2401 caller. Come on.
I was the next caller.
Yeah, you go ahead. No, you 2401. I got the schedule right in front of me. Come on, 2401.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
2401.
Yeah, you trying to...
It's echoing? What is it? Okay, listen. Do me a favor.
It's echoing.
Okay, do me a favor, sir. make sure you turn Facebook off and turn the volume all the way down, and no speakerphone. Don't put me on speakerphone. And that should eliminate the echo. No speakerphone and no Facebook. You have to turn it down, or YouTube. Turn it all the way down. It goes, is that good?
All the way down.
Is it good?
Yeah, I can barely hear you, but I hear you.
Okay, well, let me turn it up a little bit. Put your ear on the phone, man. Put your ear. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, come on with it.
Yes.
I know you've been holding. I apologize for having you holding on for a long time.
That's all right. Yeah, you're an old-time friend of mine, but listen, we got to find solutions.
That's what I'm looking for.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I've seen it all. I'm 71 years old. I've seen it all. It's changed dramatically. The first mistake that they did when they took away the draft, and then they allow these kids to do anything that they want to do. They allow them to do it, and these kids are out of control. So these kids are raising kids, and they have no respect, no morals, no anything. And then they were with the carjackings. They years ago, they had low jack on cars. Everybody's cars should be equipped with that. They can shut them off. It'll stop the car thefts. It'll stop the carjackings. It would be solutions. I don't know. Somebody need to go to the local council and bring it up, because what's going on today is going to go on and on and on, because we can talk about it till we get old and retire. It's still going to go on. But what we need is solutions, answers to stopping this. I mean, it's the only ones that getting really hurt by this dramatically is the African Americans. And I mean, we pay the ultimate price more than Vietnam. But Vietnam was a war. But look what's going on here. We got a war right here at home. And we have no answers. And what we need is answers and solutions.
Do you have any? Do you have any, sir? Do you have any solutions?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's hear.
I have solutions to reinstate that. They need to.
Let's hear.
Hello?
I'm here. Go ahead. Let's hear them.
Yeah, they need to reinstate the draft for one. Reinstate it.
Okay.
Reinstate the draft. And with the car theft, they can put just like they showed on TV many times, when these guys were car thieves, still in the car, they had LoJacks stop the cars, shut them down. They can stop that. Insurance companies would love it, but they don't love it because they're making money. Every time somebody take a car, they are making money. Insurance companies love it when they do it. And then these kids are getting hurt. It's like the lady on Lake Street. The lady got carjacked. She deliberately ran her car into that. One of the drivers died. That person died, and the other one's in the hospital. But she's okay. The airbag saved her. They wouldn't have to go through all of this. But this is going on every day, and we have to do something. Really, we have to really do something to stop it. You got people scared to even go out. Public transportation. They used to have the undercover police on the bus. They don't even have that anymore. It's crazy. People are scared to go out at night. They go out. Older people go out there early in the morning.
Hold it right
before it gets dark. They're all in the house.
Hold it, my brother. Hold it right there. So your two solutions that you gave me was bring back the draft, okay, and the other was that we should put low jacks on these cars, where if these cars get carjacked or stolen, we can get them shut down. Correct?
Yeah, they can shut them down.
Okay.
Before anybody get hurt.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go down to hold that thought. I think this 1605. I think I let you talk over 1605. Go ahead. 1605. Everybody, put your phone on mute.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Marty.
Good evening.
Look, as a father that lost a child at gunshot, we all can sit up here and make, like Monday morning quarterback on what needs to be done, right? But until you would put it to a club that a lot of us don't want to be in, It's no solution. You know, we hear mental health is a problem. It is a problem in the community. We hear that crime is this, but if you start advocating to change the juvenile laws, then you piece some group off that's telling you that, okay, you advocating to lock a kid up. You know, so we all got answers, but we not putting them to our lawmakers to get the solutions. That's where it started. It started with them to get that funding for we could get push for mental health. Then we could push for them to amend the juvenile laws to try to help it, because that sends a message to these kids that you won't get a slap on the wrist and put it back on the streets. You know, they got to be punished. And then they got to call DCFS off the parents. You beat a kid ass, man. They giving you a case. You know how many ass whoopings me, you, or anybody who took? I wish DCFS was our friend back then.
Okay. So your solution, my brother.
You know, us fathers that stepping up, you know, we got a lot of fathers that stepping up, and I commend them. But as we stepping up, we got to meet the thing that if you do too much, you could be arrested. You know, everybody could sit here and say that the chemical is doing this to a child. I have a kid that's bipolar, schizophrenic, but I keep my foot in his ass, and I have to as a man to let him know that if he go out there and hurt somebody, or if he do this, I'm not going to be standing up there and say, well, he wasn't taking his medicine, he wasn't doing that. Us as a parent got to do this.
Now, let me ask you a question, my brother.
That's my solution, Mark.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now, we know those of our children that been diagnosed as bipolar, schizophrenic, things like that, but a lot of our children out here using drugs too, and that makes them go, because when you use drugs, man, period, I'm talking about X pills, smoking is loud, which you have a lot of chemicals on it. You know, when people say, well, weed is legal, Martin, it's not legal in all places, trust me. You don't want nobody high flying that plane up in the sky. You don't want to have an open heart surgery with somebody have some weed. You don't want that. I'm quite sure you shouldn't want that. Huh?
I'm telling you.
You shouldn't want that.
But see, that goes to, Marty, what you're saying is true. That goes to the community pushing it. You know, I mean, see, we act like it's an unspoken word that if we see a problem, we don't say nothing, you know, or you got these, okay, like it starts at home. Yeah, it starts at home. But also, you know, you got the school, if they notice it, they should say something. But they so busy, you know, trying to sit up there and say that, oh no, we don't think this is best for a kid. It's like everybody have a solution, but nobody is talking to each other. It used to be a time if you did something on one end of the block, but you got to the other end, you know, everybody or your mama been don't know about it. But it's not like that no more. We so damn divided. We even divided on how to get the community to get behind mental health right now.
Okay, so you said your solution is we need to lobby the lawmakers to change some policies.
Yes.
So I mean, okay, I'm gonna go down the line.
Yes.
The old timer said the Vietnam veteran. He said that bring the draft back. He said we should put low jacks on cars. Well, if they get stolen or carjacked, they can automatically shut them down, locate them. And you said
they got that now, but they're still not working.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we got 3 solutions up here so far that I heard. 3 solid solutions. All right. Now, whether you agree with them or not, but they are solutions. I'll say that. Okay, 908.
Yeah, Marty, you're right. They all got good solutions.
Right.
But we just gotta, you know, everybody could come with a different solution, right?
Right.
But until we get together and put it to the ears that really matter, we just talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One of my solutions is parenting. Better parenting. Those that have children in the home. Now, I understand some people are in the foster care and shelters and all that. I understand. I'm not taking away from that. So we got 4 solutions up here. Parenting. My brother said advocate for change of juvenile laws to petition the lawmakers. The other brother, he said the draft, and also like a LoJack where they could shut the cars off if they get stolen or carjacked. All right, somebody got, okay, so I hear echo, 4408, that's you. You got to put your phone on mute. I'll get to you later. 908, area code. Go ahead, my brother. I think that's Michigan. 908. 908. Area code 908. You live, uncut, unedited. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, a sister. Go ahead, my sister. I'm sorry, I called your brother. Go ahead.
It's Lala. Remember I called, I think, last week.
Oh, Lala, what's going on? You the one with the son. Okay. Yeah. Come on, Lala, talk to us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I hear a lot of people talking about parenting issues, and yeah, that may be the case with a lot of these parents. But when you are trying to be a parent and parent a child, and they just won't accept, you parenting them and trying to discipline them, then this is when I think that as a community, we need to have more men that are mentors that we can send our kids to and be like, hey, brother, I'm having an issue with my son. And then they could take them under their wing and work with them. We don't have that no more.
Well, let me just say this, and no disrespect, Lala. No disrespect. Women, we have to get our children fathers involved too as well. We have to. Sometimes
when they don't want to be involved,
I know. I understand. I understand that. A lot of times when a relationship goes sour, whatever you hear, and it's correct. We can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. The school is not the mother or the father. Now, you can get community groups, support, mentor groups. That's good. I agree with you on that. That is a solution. That is a solution. I agree with you on that. But if we think that the school is going to be a mama and a daddy to our children, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to. And most of them classrooms is overcrowded anyway. That's not going to happen. So I agree with you, Lala, on that. We can get some men, more men, mentoring groups to help with the young men, because it's going to take a lot. And mental health too. Yeah. We need the mental health. We can't forget that. And we got to stop, parents, we got to stop using drugs. I'm sorry. We just have to do it. I know it feels good. It put us in a zone. Listen, but we have to stop using that, because what it does is it twists our thinking. It takes us out of our zone, our reality. I'm telling you, we talking about solutions now. We're good at pointing out the problem, but the solution. And I'm going to tell you, like the brother Donald said earlier, there's really no right and wrong solution, because we just have to put them all together and make them work as a group or race of people. We have to do that. I got another, hold on, Lola. 765, I got another caller. Area code 765.
Hello, Martin.
Hey, how you doing?
Yes, this is me.
Hey, this is who?
I'm pretty good. My name is Monica Martin.
Hey, Monica, you've been making all them good comments.
You know me as Stinson Brown on Facebook.
Okay, all right.
I'm Monica James. I'm the one that ran for political office.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
But I wanted to share with you some solutions.
Okay, come on.
I got a lot of answers that I know is going on in the community.
Okay, come on with it.
Here goes some solutions. And I've been doing this over 15 years.
Okay.
I started a mentoring program for girls because I found out they were going to jail faster than black males today. So what I did, I started the mentoring program. I adopted each girl out to a family, a husband and wife, for $300.
Okay.
Then I raised over $25,000 in the community to fund the program so that the parents wouldn't be burdened with a cost of when I took the kids out of state to travel. I
Okay.
got the kids through the Ball State University. I took them in and I set up programs at the school system at the university. I got them social workers. I got them tutorers. So there are things we can do, and we have to think outside the box and improve it ourselves. Once I started doing for the children, the parents came in for help. They wanted to participate, but you had to be clean because it was through a school program. And so there are things other than thinking we need to send them all to jail. All of them don't have the same problems. Some of them are coming from two-parent homes. My daughter was in the program. She has a mother and a father, and her dad works for law enforcement. So understand that all these troubled kids are not all from early pregnancies and drug addict parents.
Great. Well said.
And that's what I had to offer to you today.
That sounds wonderful. Wow. That and you know what? What I didn't hear
Can
mentioned.
I say another thing too?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I know a lot of people say that a lot of these kids is raising, their siblings and stuff like that. When I was young, my grandmother used to leave me in the house to watch my little cousin. Okay, and I was like 10, 11 years old, and it really developed me, where I was able to make, good choices. A lot of these kids nowadays, they don't even have good critical thinking skills. Because they're all on the internet, and all they gotta do is type in something, and boom, the answer is right there. And these kids be misbehaving because they're watching all this stuff on social media, they're listening to this rap music, and they're getting influenced.
Let me help you out. So, and they're watching their parents too. Don't leave them out too. They're watching the behavior of their parents.
Yes,
I'm not gonna leave that out too, because some of these parents, they're a tough pistol too. I'm talking about not just the mothers, the fathers too as well. They're picking up a lot of these bad behaviors of their parents, because you are the first person, you are their first love. The parents are. And you're right, they're getting it off the internet.
First teacher.
Yeah, first teacher. But see, the parents, let me just say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it unapologetic. Those of you that's dealing with the same sex. Now, I understand that you are grown. You can make decisions. Why do that in front of your small children and confuse them? Why do that? That's all I'm asking. Why? Give them a chance. What'd you say? Give them a chance.
Yeah, I just don't. You're right about that. Like the women who transition into men, and then but they getting pregnant. Like if you wanted to get pregnant, you should have stayed a woman. You looking like a whole man pregnant.
And I had to say, because see, I'm not afraid to talk about, because a lot of they got us out here afraid to say something, and we quiet. But listen, somebody have to tell the truth and shame the devil. Somebody have to do it. Parents. A lot of us as parents, we act out in front of our children. They hear us swearing. They hear us having sex. They hear us talking about people. They hear our conversations. They see us stealing in the grocery store, changing prices. They see us with multiple men, multiple women. They see this. They see it. They see us using drugs and alcohol. They see it. Then we leave them in the house for 2 or 3 days by themselves. They see this. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to come down on nobody, but it has to be told. It has to be told. The sister just spoke a great mentor program. That is great. Great. We're looking for solutions. One thing about Black people.
I even come.
Go ahead, sister.
When I'm out there.
Go ahead.
Martin, when I'm out there, I even go find housing. I find money to help them. I secure security deposits and things to get these people off the street. I find rehab programs for adult parents. I don't have no college degree. What I have is I have love for my people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Inglewood, right there in Chicago. I'm off of 60th Street. So believe me, I done had love for my people for a long time.
Wow.
And I think if we love our people, we'll quit talking about them and come up with some solutions to help them.
Mm-hmm. No, we got solutions. We just got to act on them. Because everybody, it's like living a dream in your head. But if you're not acting on that dream, it's no good. It's no good. We have to act on these solutions. All right. All right. Marcus, come on, Marcus. You've been too quiet. My first caller.
I mean, I've been listening to everybody, and this is how I come up with my thought by analyzing the conversation. So,
are you ready? You ready to talk? Okay, go
we
ahead.
have to come with solutions, and I have a solution.
Come on, let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I got a solution. All right. The solution is accepting accountability for our actions, creating effective programs that will help these young people and change their mindset. They live in a different state of mind from what we were living in. So we got to change their mindset. Our job as elderly people is not to be afraid of them and reject them. They are crying out for us to teach them and guide them. We can't give up on them. We got to be on this school system too. We got to monitor what these kids are being taught in school. We got to make these major corporations that's putting this filth out here, poisoning the minds of our kids, accountable as well. We can't blame it all on the parent, but we got to help these parents. We got to help the parents that's struggling, that's got 2 and 3 jobs, that's trying to raise their kids, but their job is preventing them from also having any interaction with their kids because they're trying to put food on the table. So we got to create programs that will help them pay their bills, help them have more time with their kids. These kids are lacking love, and they're lacking the dinner table conversation. The dinner, when we was having dinner, you found out what was going on in your child's head.
So your solutions are: we need more programs, hold some parents accountable, and we need to have that go back to the old-fashioned dinner table with the families.
Having a conversation. And another thing is, one of the major solutions, we all need to listen to each other. Older people need to listen to the young people and quit trying to overtalk them. And young people need to listen to the older people and quit thinking that the older people don't know nothing about what's going on right now. Because we do.
Right.
That sounds good. I got another caller, y'all. 4248. Where you calling from? 4248.
From my truck.
All right. Oh, I know who this is. This Brother Bill. Go ahead, Brother Bill. Come on. This is a father right here. Yeah, come on, bro. Talk to us.
Yeah, father of many.
Yeah.
Hey, everything everybody been saying is good, and most of them is pointing out the problem, but some of the solutions are great. But you got to take in mind, I'm a guy from the street. Peer pressure plays a lot, and these kids are not going to listen to anybody unless they think they cool. Somebody that thinks they down from the street, the ones that's out here already. The main thing we have to do is save the baby. We got to get regular people with regular jobs to let these kids know you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to play sports to make it in life. You don't have to do that, sell drugs to make it in life. You can be a garbage man. You can be a truck driver. You can be a nurse. And we got to go to these elementary schools and start saving these babies, man. saving these babies, having talks and discussions, get approval through the school system to go to these schools and have these conversations like we have them with 7, 8, 9-year-olds. As far as the teenagers, some of them ain't gonna get saved because they don't want to be saved. But the ones that teenagers, like I said, they don't want to hear from their parents, especially if their parents doing right by life. They'll listen to their parents if their parents grimy and, like you say, stealing and being promiscuous and all this other carrying on and selling drugs or whatever. And I've done it all as far as being in the street. So I know the influence that I had on younger people back then. You know, it's going to take going to the penitentiary or county jail and the shot callers, the guys that they know as legends, talk to them when they get out or when they get in, when the ones that go to jail, it's set in stone that it's going to be trouble for you if you come in here for carjacking. It's going to be trouble for you if you randomly shot the wrong person and killed an innocent child. Get that understanding. And I'm sure, even though they might be in jail or whatever, they got kids and family out here on the street. They will make it hard for them when they get in there. And it's gonna take a lot. It ain't just no one situation. The young lady that was talking about the mentoring program, it's hard to mentor something that don't want to be mentored. And it's easy to correct or lead a good child in the right direction when they got a good example. But most of the ones that we're talking about ain't got good examples.
Oh, no. Don't think for 1 second that most of the kids I'm talking about got good examples. Their parents was on drugs. They were in prison. Those kids had it hard. The only child I said had it easy was mine.
I understand, but in a situation, and I'm not knocking the mentoring program. What you did is great. It's more than most of us has done towards this situation, period. But all I'm saying is the ones that on the wrong track already, in most cases, it's hard to say. And a good person, a good family, in a lot of cases, is not going to work because in their mind, all they know is stealing. They think the big gym shoe boys standing on the corner is what's happening. And if you put a kid in a good environment, they're gonna act up. I got a niece. She just made 21. Me and my wife had her the first 6 years of her life. Then she came back at 15. She was ruined. We gave her the opportunity of a lifetime. She could have had a car. She could have had anything in life that she wanted. Any opportunity.
Shopping the way she wanted to. She
didn't want it.
Structure.
You know what? Your message to them was, I got you an opportunity. I'm going to save you. My message to these kids, ain't nobody going to save you. You got to save yourself. I'm just going to give you the tools to do it with.
We did that.
And I agree.
Saved me in Inglewood. Ain't nobody saved me in Inglewood. I had to save myself.
And we gave her that opportunity. And to this day, she turned it down just because she didn't want to follow rules of letting us know her whereabouts or who she was going to be around. She took the road to go be where she could do whatever she want to do, smoke weed or whatever, versus having a car, an education, money. She had it all. When she came back at 15, between me and my wife, if we didn't spend $5,000 on her in the first
Walking in the door.
within the first couple,
Martin,
2-3 weeks,
my
but she didn't want it. Hair getting did, nails did. We just wanted her to get good grades. But
Why is it bad to be
the problem is
well, my
with
son said he wanted to say, coming from a youth perspective, what he feel like would be a solution in the community.
Say that again, sis. I didn't hear it
all
clear.
of them ain't gonna be saved. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
and the kids,
I got these
from
kids
the-
out of a program. They were heading to the juvenile center. Well, some of them was already in the juvenile center. So I ain't gonna say they were all heading there. Some of them was already there.
Jabari, for the youth.
My success
like
rate
the
was
solution
pretty darn good.
What you feel like the solution is for the youth, Jabari?
I mean, for the black youth, I think like it need to be more like family gatherings and like that's when you get back to their roots and stuff, like learn their history and stuff, like where they come from, like from Africa and stuff. Cause like a lot of people don't know nothing about themselves. That's why they outside doing what they doing. Like they know that, like if they know that Africa is rich, they got all the gold and diamonds. They probably like think different about themselves.
This your son, Lala?
Yep, yes it is.
Yeah, keep him on the phone. Keep him on the line. I want to talk to him. Keep him right there. Yeah. So, how old are you, young man? Young man.
I'm 17. I'm turning 17.
Okay. From
can you
your
hear me?
experience, you're 17 years old, and I'm quite sure you're peer pressure for your peers. I'll say this. What do you notice about a lot of young people? Why they don't have that? They have that I don't give a care attitude. Why you think that? As a young man, help us out. We older people. All of us are older people on here. We just like talking to the choir, but you're the youngest person on here. So tell us why you think young people do the things, say the things that they do. Tell us why. Just let us in.
Well, first of all, like the youth nowadays, like everybody is like acting the same now. Like everybody don't care. Like everybody, like half of the kids, majority is, when I went to school and stuff, I do online school. But when I was going to school, like everybody was smoking weed. And then like the other kids, younger kids, they seen the older kids doing what they doing. So everybody want to smoke weed. And like the peer pressures, the music too, like when they see like, I seen like an 8-year-old, he knew about Lil Durk. And I was like, who Lil Durk is? He's like Lil Durk, he's like Solo G. Everybody's influenced by the rap. Like the rap culture is like changing the youth. Like that's really running the youth now. Like New York drill has like traveled all global now to all the United States. That's influencing the kids. And like everybody, like when Feature came out, he's talking about lean, so that influenced the kids. Now people want to do lean now. Then like when you go to school, when you say you don't want to do drugs, now nobody want to hang out with you. Now you're gonna be the outcast. Now you weird and stuff. So now you like, well, F it then. I'm gonna do drugs then, cause like I don't got no friends. So that's really what influencing the youth. Like a lot of kids gonna do mental health too, anxiety. People getting bullied for having anxiety, depression. They don't got like nobody to talk to. So like they turn to drugs. That's like the number one thing now. Like it's just getting bad.
Now, people, if you notice what this young man said, he's 17 years old. He's no longer in the school setting. He's going online school. And everything he said, none of us could deny what he just said because he's young. He's in that circle. He's more qualified to talk about what the youth are doing and the way they think because those are his peers. So we got a lot of work to do as parents, as mentors, as coaches, as fathers. We have a lot of work to do, people. Now, we can get on here and sit
Can
up.
I say something,
I'm going to share
Martin?
some with the people on this phone so they can get started if they really want to get started. You can go to your public school system or to your superintendent office building and ask, can they umbrella you under the school system to start a mentoring program, be it male or female? You need to start that program somewhere. And then you can go out into your community to get more help to come in and help you. Now, most school system has a restriction on people with criminal records volunteering around children, depending on what that record is. So you have to find out.
And that's
what the
wrong.
policies
And that's
are for the
wrong.
School district. It is wrong. It's wrong because they send their kids
It's
to their
wrong.
school. But you have to find out what that policy is, because they may not allow them around other people's children. You can come in for your children. When you do it, it's really your program. So when you take field trips, you don't have to answer to the school system. You can bring those parents with you on field trips, but as long as they're in that school building, you answer to them.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to ask Martin. My thing is this, I wanted to bring this part up too. I get what you're saying. I get what your son is saying, but a lot of what's happening in these streets, it wasn't harvested from a educational background person. It was from the street. So we have to go back to the people that these kids are listening to, these stories about these living legends and all these guys, who they're looking up and trying to fill their boots and live up to them. These are the people, they're 50 now. They're 60 now.
The reason why,
and their name is still
true.
ringing in the street.
50,
Let me finish.
So
and their name is, okay, and I'm 50. And these people, their names are, and that's my husband on the phone that was talking to the truck. He's 61. So I know what I'm talking about. And so it needs to start back where it came from. All these people that are still alive, that are not in the penitentiary, that are not still engaging in the street, these people have to get back out here, and because nobody's going to listen to a 4.0 grade average student who's never seen a hungry day in his life. He has his mother. His father is active. Those people can't reach that kid because they can't relate. These kids need somebody that can relate, somebody that came from the same type of situations they came from but made it. I'm one of those kids. My husband is one of those kids. Okay?
I'm one.
It's easy for someone to sit up and say, oh no, I'm just saying what I know.
I said I'm from
I'm not writing you off.
Chicago, Inglewood.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Very good. I'm simply saying that no kid that's in these streets that's grudging it and living and that's trying to keep shoes, cold food, and a roof over their head, they don't want to hear from a kid who has never seen a hungry day. His mom supports him. His dad supports him. He has aunts and uncles that come to his games. And, they make sure that he's okay. And he gets his favorite snacks on the weekend for the week. And he has lunch money. And if he doesn't want to eat, they don't want to hear that. They need somebody that has been there and done that and still made it unscathed.
I'm going to finish giving help before I get off the phone.
Okay.
Because I think it's really important information I'm going to share.
Okay.
Like I said, you can go to the school and ask them to umbrella you. Secondly, there's juvenile centers they have. You can go before the magistrate or the judge and ask them, will they work with your program and release some of the students so they're not locked up in a juvenile center? To your responsibility, where you write up, you have to respond back to the center to get those kids out and back into regular school system. And so those are two detrimental things you have to do because you want to use your power to help those children. And then you go into the universities and you go to different professors. You look up the professors' classes that you want to use. And if you want to use, say you want them to tutor their math. So you go to the person head of the math department. And you talk to them and ask them, is there a professor willing to allow the children to sit into their classroom, or will they send a student to you to tutor them in math? And that is how you get things started. And in the beginning, it costs you nothing.
Okay.
So I'm telling you how to get
Martin, read her information.
Yeah,
most
good
universities have mental health care. Most universities have mental health care in them, and they charge the college students $10. If you get head of that mental health department in that university, they probably will get you some care for those children for free.
Lord.
And you have to talk to them so that they can understand. Because if you're from the hood, they understand you if you're from the hood. If you're a college professor, they'll listen to you as long as they know that there's someone there that they trust. And remember, those college professors and teachers are not talking to those kids. You are.
Okay.
And so that's what I want to share.
Go ahead, Marcus. Okay, Marcus, go ahead, Marcus.
I just want to say, I hear one of the things I hear, and I've been working with a group called Purpose Over Pain. I've heard people come and they say they from the street. What about the people who grew up in those neighborhoods? I grew up in Inglewood. I never was a part of none of that. I think these kids need to hear somebody who grew up in that same neighborhood. I didn't get everything I wanted. I had to go get me a job and get what I wanted. But I never went to no juvenile. I never was in the backseat of a police car for anything. You see, with me, I made a decision at 11 years old that I wasn't going to be a part of that life. So I think they need to hear not only from the people who made mistakes when they were younger and now they're older and they a different person, but I think they need to hear from both sides of the people. I do believe that they will.
That's true. Absolutely.
Some kids
Absolutely. I agree.
Street kids do listen.
Just because we're from the street don't mean we all.
Well, not everybody from the hood is a convicted felon. I'm from the hood all 14.
I'm not one.
And I'm not a convicted felon. I'm not one either.
Okay.
Well, never.
Well, I'm gonna add by saying this. This is the truck driver once again. I agree with the guy who just said they need to see people who never went to jail. They need to hear from everybody that's got a success story, that's a regular person. I'm gonna tell you myself.
Who is it?
I had both of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Lord.
Hello.
Yeah, hold on, Marcus.
I had both of my parents.
Go ahead, Bill.
I had both of my parents, good parents, and they gave me everything I could think I possibly wanted in life. But I still chose the street, and I mean I was in the streets bad.
And there's nothing wrong with that, Marcus.
It's peer. It's peer pressure, and my parents was my best friend. My father died a couple years ago. My best friend. I'm 61. My mother's been my best friend all my life. I knew that, and I listened to them, but I still did things the way I wanted to, and wanted the glitz and glamour of the streets. And we need to save the younger kids, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. But when you get to 10, 11, 12, and you done chose the wrong side, you only want to hear from somebody that rap. Years ago, you could have told me that the content in rap music had an influence. I disagree. I have a difference of opinion now. It plays a big part.
It has a big
influence. It does. It's horrible.
Huge influence.
So these same people that's rapping where they came from, O Block, Watts, California, they got to go back and tell these people the truth, man.
That's not where it's at.
That I never did this, or I was there and this ain't where it's at.
And it's a part of the agenda. They push this stuff on the radio. You don't hear them playing Kendrick Lamar no more. You don't hear them playing Common no more. You don't hear them playing Lupe Fiat.
Because the drill music sales records. The drill music sales records. It's not about
it's sad.
Moral. It's about money. The music industry is all about money.
Okay.
So they're not gonna
Well, look
play
at
what they say.
WGCI. That's
All right.
what they do. They play all that drill music, and then they turn around and say, "Put the guns down." What are you talking about? Put the guns down. You playing all that drill music?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I got 2 new callers, guys.
Now, what we
And
all
then
missing,
advertise, "Put the guns down."
what we all
Hey,
missing,
Mark.
They don't
Yeah.
even play R&B music
I
no
want
more
to say this,
on the
and
radio.
I'll be
No, it
done.
is.
Okay,
No,
Bill,
what
go
we
ahead and
all
say it. I got
missing
2 callers.
is
Let
this
Bill
all-
talk. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay,
I got 2 new callers. Go ahead.
what we all missing.
Ain't no
is-
love being played.
This
This
is
is
by
One person, one mic now.
this
One
is
mic.
all by design.
Okay.
All of this is by design. It ain't by coincidence. All of it. Our kids acting up. It's by design. The drugs, whatever. It's all by design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was put here in place for us to fail and do what it's doing right now.
Yes.
It's up to us to put it in place and put it in check and save ourselves and our kids and our future.
And let me say this, brother Bill.
I'm from it. Y'all enjoy
Oh,
y'all.
okay. I agree with Bill 100%. But I'm gonna call out who doing it. It's white supremacists. That's who's behind all of this. Okay, I got a new call. We got to call it what it is, people. We cannot keep saying they. That's what it is. It's the white supremacists that's doing this. That's hate. Come on, new caller. I got a young man. I think that's the coach. Come on, coach. 4128. Come on, coach. I think that's the young coach guy. Go ahead.
What up, Mark?
Yeah, brother. Go ahead. How you doing?
I just feel like we need to stop saying what the solution is, and we actually need to put it into place. Like, I see people just putting in your little chat of what they would do, but they not doing it. Because if they would have did it, these kids would have been changed. Once again, like the other brother said the other day about the 100 men, about the 100 young youth. It's a young dude that was on your live, and I inboxed him, and he said he's from Chicago, and I asked him, do he want to team up? He said no. So
I know who he's talking about.
Me too.
it's not like, once again.
By the way, this young
Yeah.
man is 25
What you
years
gonna do?
old. You're 25, right, young man? How old are you?
Yes, sir.
25 years old. So we want to hear what he got to
I
say.
was a youth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like we should like talk to the kids, because also I work with the school system. So what I do in the school system, I'm first defense of anything I do security. So I deal with the outlashes in the classroom when they throwing fit, and I talk to them like, what's wrong? And the conversations they be saying is what I think somebody said, that they don't get talked at home. And they said, some, especially the little kids, 6, 7, 8, the first grade, second grade, third grade, they be like, my mom and my daddy, they into it, or they don't, they, little stories they be saying. But it hurts that when you tell the parent what's going on, they be like, oh, he'll be good, or she'll be good. They just got mad because they had to go to sleep last night. No, it's not all about that. You got to sit your kid down and talk to your kid. Even though they 5, 6, 7, 8, they still going through things.
Mm-hmm.
They still going through things. Also, it's a program called Big Brothers and Big Sisters that we need to start using. It's a free program that's called Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Sister got a waiting list. I've been in Texas 10 years. I ain't hear back from nobody yet.
So you got to stay on their case. You stay on their case.
No, I ain't gonna stay on their case. They said they don't have
job, you
men
gotta stay on their
volunteering
case.
like that no more.
So
cutting you out. That's what they're doing.
So it's a bunch of people that's trying to get into Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So you're gonna have to stay on their case. I mean, like, keep calling, email.
Why not we just start our own?
That sounds better.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Martin.
Yes. I got, okay, before you go, sister, let me get this last caller. They've been waiting on it for a long time, and I appreciate it. I'm going to let you go, dear sister. 9282. Come on, caller.
I'm gonna send you some information from myself and for Coach.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Send it to the 297-6389. Send it to that number. 872.
Wait.
Okay.
Let me-
The
I don't
number
have a
that,
pen on me.
yeah, the number that's over my head on the
Just give
screen.
it-
872.
Oh, that number. Okay.
That number that's
I got
over
it.
my head. Send it to
I
that
got it
number.
pulled up on my iPad.
Okay, send it to that number. The text.
Okay.
Whatever. Okay.
I sure will.
Okay. I'll still let you talk. I want to hear from this 9282.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. 9282, you on live,
All right.
live, uncut, unedited.
Hello.
Come on with it.
Hey, Martin.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm
92.
well.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's me.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so basically, I just wanted to say, I hear a lot of people saying things like it's coming from the rap music and different things or whatever with the kids. I definitely have a teenager myself. I want to say that it basically starts with the parenting, for sure. Everything is just, I feel like these kids are out of control, and the way these kids are all acting is because of their parents. We can't really blame nobody else. I got a situation I basically want to talk about. Basically, my 14-year-old daughter, while I was working, had another kid come to my house that she called herself dating. So basically, my thing is, how do your child basically come 20 miles to see my child while I'm at work? That's an issue. That's a problem.
Yep.
My child is in the house. She can't go outside. But your 13, 14-year-old child can travel 20 miles to my house to see my kids. I have an issue with that.
Let me say something, ma'am.
Because with the parenting,
There's something wrong with it.
where was the parent? What was going on? My child knew better not to leave out the house.
Can I say something to that? Now, every household is ran different. Let me say that. Let me just say
Mighty
this.
different.
And I'm going to just say this. I'm not blaming rap music for people going out there shooting, killing, drive by. I'm saying it does have its role in it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It has an influence. It's just like
Rap music is the source.
listen, and I'm gonna say like drugs and alcohol. Drug and alcohol, it's called controlled substance. Let's go by what it really is. It alters your thinking. It makes you do things normally you wouldn't do if you were sober or in your right mind. We'll say that. Jamie Foxx said it better. Blame it on the alcohol. You know, you're a grown sister. You hear people say, "Man, I was drunk. I was high. I don't know what I shouldn't have done that." You know, those of you that get high and do drugs or whatever, that's your business. But I'm just saying, I'm not just blaming on the violent video games. I'm not just blaming it all on the drill music. But those things do have an effect. The parents too, as well, have an effect. And you're right, the parenting. All these things have an effect on our youth. Most of our youth, you can ask them. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, no, I see him saying you blaming it on the boy, but not your daughter. It's not that I'm not blaming it on my daughter. My daughter already got disciplined for her actions. What I'm saying is the parenting. Why is your child able to travel 20 miles to my house? That's the issue to me. Yet what my daughter did about allowing them to come and allow somebody in the safety of her home is a whole nother story. I have to deal with my daughter on that part. But I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying. Starts with the parenting. Why, if everybody basically do what they got to do with their child to teach their child to do things, then I feel like it wouldn't be as bad as it is now.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Because my child knows
now
not to leave out the house.
That young man could not have came over your house unless your daughter gave him the address, and they both in fault.
Exactly, and that's what I'm.
And don't get me wrong, and that's the reason my daughter
was a parent
plan for that. But I'm saying, like, how are you traveling at 13 and 14 years old, 20 miles?
They get around. Y'all folks get around. Listen.
That makes no sense to me.
And let me say this.
Everything is Uber.
Yeah. Mom, let me say this to you. And whether we want to believe it or not, our young people are out here having sex. They have feelings. I'm going to just say that. They do have sex. They do have feelings. They have everything at their disposal with these sites. You know, they got these dating sites. They got porn sites. And they are. No one's, even myself, when I used to watch my daughters grow up, I was like, oh, my God, their body developing. I said, what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do? 4 girls. I got one now, a teenager. I'm watching her. They have feelings. You have to watch these teenagers because they will outslick us if we're not watching. And like you said, dear sister, you was at work and they know the rules not to let nobody in the house, no company when mom is not in the house. But the rule was broken. And this is what teenagers do. They sneak. It don't take long for them to get pregnant. Don't take long. And I'm going to say this. Young men love when young ladies don't listen to their parents. They love it. They love it.
They sure do.
They love it. And parents, you keep being on your daughter, keep enforcing. I'm glad you are a concerned parent because some of these parents on here, they make excuse for their sons and daughters. They can find fault in my daughter, but they can't find none in theirs. So you continue to do what you do. I commend you for the discipline and all that. That's good. Good. That's all I had to say on that. 872-299-0808. 872.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, listen, sister, I appreciate you. Listen, I'm going to tell you, Martin G. Johnson came from a 2-parent household. Martin G. Johnson never had to sell drugs. Martin G. Johnson sold drugs for 5 years of his life. He gang banged for probably 10 of those or better. Didn't have to do none of them things. But I wanted to be hip. I wanted to be cool. Now, I've never been to penitentiary. Went to jail a couple of times. Got caught with pistol and all this. But I'm just saying, young people is influence. It's influence. It's influence. So we can't just blame it. And like Marcus said, he grew up in Inglewood. He never did drugs. He never sold drugs. He never got in no trouble or none of them things. So he is a success story. Right from Inglewood. The man is a professional photographer. He shoots professional sports. He shoots for the newspaper, several newspapers. So he is a success story. Coming out of Inglewood. So young man and young woman, if you living in a high crime area, you can be successful without joining the gang. You can do great things without participating in drugs and alcohol and all those things. You can. It's possible. Very possible. But that's what I had to say. Y'all go ahead and finish talking now.
Martin.
Yes.
And I know you
allow me to
that
say this.
The kids like to talk to people that's down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like as a parent, I'm down to earth. I'm not that old myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 32 years old.
Yep.
And my daughter is 14.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I just went through what she's going through. But at the end of the day, she still went and snuck and did what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying like my daughter don't have fault in this. She definitely has fault in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell her to be open. I understand.
I'll let you talk next.
And she still went and did what she did.
That's what teenagers do.
So exactly.
That's what
So it don't matter how nice you is to the kids. She had a great Christmas. I work hard for her. She have a lot more than the normal child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's still acting up.
Okay, go ahead, my dear sister. I think that was a.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Martin, can I say something?
Go ahead.
The lady earlier was talking about how, you go to the superintendent and, you know, try to start a mentor program, things of that nature in the school. Now, a lot of these schools don't want people coming in there talking to these kids. Okay, I work in the school. I'm a substitute. Okay, and I'm as little as they get, and I get in there and I get to talking to these girls, and the same thing that you just said, I told them. I said, hey, you know, you all on TikTok, you on Snapchat, you posting your pictures, you got your lips out blowing these little seductive little kisses and poses. These predators that's on these apps, they prey on little girls like you that don't listen to their mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And when the schools find out you talking to these kids like that, they get rid of you because it's been done to me. They don't want nobody coming in talking to the kids. They want to stick to the textbook and stick to the code and the TEA guidelines. They don't want real people coming in talking to these kids.
School to prison to pipeline. That's what that is.
Well, what they want is people coming in there.
They ain't teaching these kids nothing in the school. These kids is bored. They're bored in school. The stuff that they're teaching them, 2 + 2, division, multiplication, I could teach my son that at home. You know what I'm saying? They're not teaching them nothing new. They done took out the critical race theory thing out. All they talk about in school now, well, really, what school really is about now is prepping them for STAR tests so they can get that government money, and teaching them about slavery and the founding of
life lesson.
Just all the kids learning all day and on their Chromebook.
No life lesson.
No life lessons, no skills, nothing preparing them for when they do graduate from school and they be prepared for this world out here. Look, they even took computer classes out.
Wow.
I'm bored in the
definitely have
classroom. I have to
teaching
get up
cursive
and move
brain,
around so I don't fall asleep in the class. Because it's boring. The teachers are not up teaching these kids nothing. They're sending them straight to YouTube or Google Classroom to do work. There's no interaction. There's no picking the brain, making these kids think, or nothing like that. Everything is on their Chromebook.
They program them to be slaves.
Yeah.
Not entrepreneurs.
Okay. All right, people. I got about 15 minutes left, so I'm gonna give everybody closing comments, 2-3 minutes, whatever you need to express whatever you want to say, get some off your chest. It's cool with me. I've enjoyed this conversation. I've learned a lot by listening to you guys, and listen, man, this was one of my best conversations talking about youth. Just listen to you guys. So, Marcus, I'm gonna use my first caller today. So I'll start with you. 0941. Marcus, go ahead.
Okay, I know it's a lot of young people listening to your show too, and they just not calling in.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna say this to the young people that's growing up in what you call the trenches. Whatever you desire, you want to be, stay focused. How I made it through Inglewood, I was chased by the gang. I was talked about. There were moments where I felt like, wow, everybody hates me. But I had my mother, my auntie, I had positive people in my family that encouraged me to stay focused. I was also involved in a program that took me out of Inglewood. The hospital is no longer standing today, but Michael Reese had a program that no other program that I know of has been able to duplicate what they did. They took us out of our neighborhood and showed us what Chicago had to offer. And when I saw that, like I said, at 11 years old, I didn't want to be out there on the streets. I saw all of that. I didn't want to be that. You don't have to be that because you live in Inglewood. Inglewood is just a neighborhood. If you live in K-Town, if you live in Woodlawn, those are just neighborhoods, and they were once nice. Hey, Martin.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Just hold on. I got you, sister. I know you on. I see you on.
Don't be that negative. Get away from those negative people.
Mhm.
Those kids are not your friends. If they're telling you to come out there and sell drugs, get away from them. And matter of fact, if enough kids in that same neighborhood start shaming those kids for doing it, they'll stop doing it. Young people, we can't save you. You can save yourself by not accepting the behavior that is being displayed out here today. To the parents, listen to your kids. And to the kids, listen to your parents. They've been on this earth longer than you have. Listen. We need more family involvement. That's what kept me out the streets. I mean, I had a home. I had people who loved me, and I wasn't going to do nothing to hurt them.
Okay. All right, Marcus. 2841. We got a new caller. I'm gonna let the new caller put the new caller up front. Go ahead, new caller. 2841. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Martin. This is Vicky Lowe. I listen to you a lot, and I make commentary.
Okay.
My solution for a lot of the children is we just listen to them, and we have to start telling our children that we love them. I've always told my kids I love them, and that carries a lot in the kid's heart, knowing that you can say it out of your mouth. There's so many parents that can't even muscle up the word love to their own children that they brought into this world. And another thing I wanted to say, it starts at childhood. Like when you have a neighbor and you see that they have one of those kids that just do crazy stuff and everybody ignores it when they know that there's something wrong with that kid, instead of ignoring it, you need to let that parent know. Man, maybe you need to go get them checked out because normal kids don't act like that. Or, you can see when a kid is going bad, and people don't speak up when they see it. They just ignore it and be like, "Oh, just stay away from JoJo because he's bad," or whatever. But you need to help. That's why it takes a village to let a person know. They may not know as a parent that they need to take their child somewhere, to see what's wrong with them.
Okay. You're from Chicago? Ma'am, you're from Chicago?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Appreciate you. And can I share something with you?
Yes,
I shared
I'm
it
from
earlier.
Chicago.
Okay. I want to share something with you.
Sure.
I grew up in a two-parent household, and my father died probably about 6 years ago. I was in my 40s, and he never told me he loved me. He never embraced me that I can remember of, but he was there. He did a lot of things for me, but it helps. And I'm saying this to help your argument. You're correct. You have to talk to your children. You have to love on them. You have to hold them. You have to cry with them. Please do that. Please interact. Please have an encounter with your sons and your daughters. Because if you don't, the gay community is waiting on them. The gang community is waiting on them. The carjacking community is waiting on them. The dropout community is waiting on them. The snatch and grab community is waiting on them. The drug community is waiting on them. Waiting on them. The sex trafficking community is waiting on them. And where you don't feel that void, they're going to feel it for you. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And even when they're grown, because my children are grown, even when they're grown, when you have that, when me and my daughters, we talk every day, and at the end of our conversations, we say, "I love you. I love you, Ma. I love you." We say "love you" all the time. It's like normal English to us. And Black people, we need to start doing it. We've always done it, but I don't understand why it's so hard for Black people to say that.
Because they don't love each other.
To their own kids.
They don't love each other. They don't love each other. That's all that is. People, dear sister, people act out the way they think. If an animal think fly, he gonna start flying. If the animal is thirsty, he gonna go get some water. We're humans. We do the same thing. We act out the way we think. We don't do things, then think about it. No, we think it first, then it's an order. Just like I always say, when a baby crawls before he walks. No baby comes out the womb and start walking. Yeah. No, there's an order that you have to follow, that is laid down. So I'm saying, Black people, you hear this statement say, "Boy, we most loving people in the world." We can't be, because we don't love each other. We can't be. Look at our attitude toward one another. Our behavior toward one another, our behavior toward ourselves. That is proof right there. And when you see people that love each other. You be like, where does brother come from? Where does sister come from? What's behind this? He trying to go to bed with me? Is he gay? Is he straight? Is he funny? No. I genuinely love you, brother. I'm not your brother. I'm not you. I ain't in your family. Why you doing this for me? Why not?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then another thing, Martin, I don't know why people have so much anger. I mean, you could be in a store and it's just the females, they just have so angry. And you be wondering, like, I have a smile on my face, like, why are you so angry? And they just like have a real bad attitude, just waiting to jump on you. It's just so much anger with our people. I don't know why. I guess it's the social media. I mean, that's the cute thing to be, but you don't have to be like that. How can you be angry with a stranger that you don't know?
Mm-hmm. That's how it is. As I say, I'm gonna go to the next. I'm gonna hold it. As I say this,
sure. As
I speak right now, there's some person that look like me that's loading up their gun right now. Right now. I'm gonna say it again. And they loading it up for a person that look like you and I, that's black. And they're waiting on an excuse to use that pistol. If you cut them off, if you stare at them too long, if you get a beef with them on social media argument, they're ready, willing and ready to use that weapon. They just bought it, they clean it up, and they want to test it out. That goes to show you their mentality.
Yep.
That's their mentality. That's the mentality that we live in. But I want to say this on top of that. Young man and young woman, just as much as you're ready to kill, you better be ready to die, because it can go either way. And I always say this, whoever get to their gun first, that's probably going to be the baddest man or baddest woman at that time. That's all I had to say. And that's not a threat, but that's just reality. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, we got to close it up. I got to go to my next caller. 30. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead. Let you go. Use your 2 minutes.
You have this saying, tell the truth or shame the devil. Shame play a big part of what's going on with our young youth now. They're ashamed of what they've seen, their parents or whatever, because shame will make you not do a lot of stuff. You and I might not have didn't do a lot of stuff because we didn't want our mother to hear about it. We didn't want our neighbor to see us doing it because it made us feel shame. They don't have no shame now. We had shame all the way around the board. Where it made you feel guilty, you were like, no, I ain't going to do that in front of them. No, I don't want to have to answer my mama. We did things, but there was limitations. They don't have no limitations and no shame.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
That's it. All right. $36.99. You on live, uncut, unedited. Come on with it. $36.99.
Well,
it's the wife right here, y'all. This is the wife. It's Bill's wife, the one just spoke. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna stick to, it's gonna take the old heads that created this.
Mm-hmm.
It's with the parents, but when the parents lose control, where do your children go? They go to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this mess that these kids are looking up to, the flashiness, the cars, they can still have those things, but the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's going to take those same people that little boy was looking at in 1990 when he was 7, and this dude was balling and doing and having, and every girl wanted him. It's that same guy, if he's still alive, if he's not in prison, that's the same guy that needs to go back and give back and talk to these youngsters and let them know, I made a lot of mistakes, but you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. That's where it starts at home, but
when your kids hit the streets, when you're at work, who's influencing them? Like my husband said, peer pressure. Who's influencing them? Who are they looking up to? They're looking at the people that have what they don't have at home. So those are the people. These guys that started this gang culture, the drug dealing culture. All those same people. If you're still alive and if you're listening, go back and help these kids and tell them that lifestyle, it was a lie and there's nothing in it. And then when you down for your team and your homie, when they go to prison, ain't nobody finna put nothing on their books. Ain't nobody finna come see them every week. They ain't finna come to your court cases. You're on your own. You're done. Your so-called street family, you're gonna find out you don't have no family when you get that good case.
Preach, sister.
You're done.
All right. Lala.
And what's that?
Come on, Lala. 908. Come on, my dear sister.
Well, I think my son summed it all up. And like I said, I think we all need to come together. And people who have these degrees in certain fields, they need to give back to the community. Like I said, these men, they need to come up and have some type of mentor program for the boys, and the women need to come and have a mentor program for the girls. And people who have degrees in mental health need to come back and serve their community. Because we keep depending on the pale man, they don't care about us.
True. That's it. I got a new caller. Callers, y'all know. Come on, I can't take them on new callers. Okay, I got is that 708?
I have to go into overdrive.
I know. I'm trying to listen. Y'all got to let me. I got a life too now. All right. 2841. 2841. Come on. 2841. Come on with it.
Yeah. What I want to say is the young people have to realize that there's no guns in prison. So either they're not afraid of going to prison. I mean, I don't know if that's where they want to be, but when you get to prison, there's no guns there. So if you can't fight, you're gonna be a special treat there. So I don't understand. They have no fear of going to prison, or I don't know what it is. It's just it's crazy.
Okay, I think
the women too. I mean, women. You can't buy, sanitary napkins and stuff in prison if don't nobody send you any money. So why would you want to go there?
All right. I think that's it.
It's getting to be the norm.
Go ahead, Bill. Yeah.
It's getting to be the norm where they don't have no fear or even look forward to going to the joint or the prison. Just like all these carjacking and killings, it's starting to be the norm. My 15-year-old niece, that's the norm for her.
Are you looking at her Facebook? I want to
She had a 12-year-old.
Died in a car crash.
In June.
In July. It was July.
Her parents sneaking out of the house, want to be with older boys. Car accident.
That was in a stolen car. It was a stolen car. They carjacked it.
And her neck get broke. She's the only one that died in the car.
Yep. They kept my niece alive. My sister's child kept her alive for less than a week on a ventilator, life support. And my sister donated my niece's organs, but she snuck out, and she was in the car with some older boys, and she died. She died in a stolen car.
I remember.
That's becoming the norm to her peers. and her sister.
Watching her older sisters. One of them is the 15-year-old that we raised from. We got her at 6 months. We kept her for 6 years. My sister wanted her back. We gave her back. We got her back at 15, and it was by that time it was like we were speaking a foreign language. It was like she couldn't understand anything we were saying. She didn't want the structure.
There were signs she was running away or whatever. 12 years old. But she thought that was the norm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a code that has to be broken with these kids. We had to change everything. The way she was wearing her hair, with the long gray hair, the white hair like an old lady, the big pearl earrings looked like a Christmas tree ornament. Tying up her t-shirt, showing her midsection. We had to deprogram everything, from the type of statement jewelry that she wanted to wear, her hair, the way she was trying to put her makeup on. We had to do her whole wardrobe over. We had to change everything. It took us months to deprogram her. She didn't want to change. She wanted to go back to where she could do what she wanted to do with who she wanted to do. I monitored everything, Martin. When I tell you, I knew all her teachers, pop-ups at her school. I didn't allow any friends that I couldn't meet their parents, grandparents, guardians. I needed to see how they live. I want phone numbers. You don't have no friends until I meet their parents, their grandmother, guardian, whoever is taking care of them. I need to meet them, whether it's over lunch or they can pop up over here. I need to see, is their uncle living in the basement? How many people live in the house? What's going on? Do they have rules? Do they have a curfew? Or do they just rip and run the way they want to? No, you can't have those type of friends. It was too much for her.
She was getting ready to get a car.
All right.
Anything that any child think they wanted, and she'd rather be
in madness. In madness.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, people. I got to end it. This live, uncut, unedited. I appreciate all my wonderful guests. First time I ever had a husband and wife on. This is the second time I had them on. Second time. I appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, I appreciate you. Listen, because you know what? We all learn from one another. Trust me. Don't know one person know it all. I don't have all the answers to the solutions. That's why I'm here learning. Trust me. I was on here taking notes. I took me a couple of notes or something. So, hey, I learned me something. I'm learning because I come in contact with a lot of people, and I want to be able to give them some good information. I don't want to give nobody the wrong information. Don't want to lie on nobody. Don't want to, give nobody the wrong instructions and stuff like that. Or lead them wrong. So appreciate y'all people. This live, uncut, unedited. Good night, everybody. Y'all can hang up. I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Peace out. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what happened.